Good day, students. We are now again in our practical research 1, quarter 3, module 9, which is about writing research title. So I hope you have already in mind the topic you want to study as your research project. So in your group, okay, so we will now begin writing your research title. So how do you research a title? So let's find out in this module. Okay, so in this module, so these are competency. The learner writes a research title. Then our objectives: identify the characteristics of a good research title, perform the steps in making a research title, and write a research title. Okay, so this is our objectives in our module. Okay, introduction. A research title does not just fall from the sky or show up in your dreams. It's a product of good thinking and formulation. Prior to coming up with a research title, it requires observation, wide reading, selective viewing of various educational materials, meaningful interactions with significant people, and deep reflection. Okay, so from these statements, I hope it's clear to you that when you're doing research, so you really need to have a wide reading about your topic. So it's not just look at one article on the internet and that's it. It's already done. So when you have your research, so you must have multiple sources, or you read a lot of learning materials and resources, so that you will have a good thinking and you can be able to formulate a good research output. Okay, because if you are able to scan research articles online, so you can see there are a lot of references. It means that when they made that research, so they read all that references they have. Okay, that is how you're going to do as a researcher. So you must have a wide reading. Okay, so research title is the first thing that readers will see. It is for this reason that you have to make it clear, informative, persuasive, and interesting, that it immediately captures the attention and desire of the reader to continue reading your paper. Their titles are very catching to the audience. Okay, like the Howling El Bimbo, Miracle in Cell 7. Okay, so those are some of the characteristic. Okay, so as you can see, so it's a sample of examples of a title. Okay, so it follows a sort of characteristics. Okay, let's study this. So lesson: writing a research title. Okay, these are the characteristics of research title by Inago Academy 2019 and the HSE Academic Writing Center 2019. Okay, so number 1, it predicts the content of the research paper. So it should not be misleading and must not establish wrong expectations. Okay, so as you can see, so if you make a research title, so the reader must already know what your paper is all about. Okay, so it's not misleading. Okay, and number 2, it should be interesting to the reader. It must grab the attention of the reader, easy to read, creates positive impression, and stimulates interest. It must not also encourage multiple interpretations. Okay, take note of this. And number 3, it reflects the tone of the writing. For academic studies, it must not have a casual, fun, or flowery title. Even though we want titles to be interesting, we don't want them to be humorous and taken less seriously by readers. Okay, and number 4, it contains important keywords that will make it easier to search. Keywords should let you introduce a topic, problem, or solution. Keywords should not distract or disturb the reader and must not be difficult for others to understand. So take note of this. Avoid using jargons or highfalutin words in making your title. Okay, here are the steps in making a research title. It's by Raha Gapualan 2014. These are the 5 steps in writing a research title. So step 1, okay, ask yourself these questions and take note of the answers. Okay, first, what is my paper about? Okay, so example, My research will describe the life experiences of students undergoing mentorship and being mentees, explore their coping mechanisms and insights. Okay, so make sure you already know what is the purpose of your paper, what you're going to study. Okay, so what is your research questions in mind that will be answered in your study. Okay, so what is your paper all about? Then number 2, what technique or designs will be used? So it will be a qualitative pedagogical study. Then what is going to be studied? So example, it will study junior high school students assigned as mentors and mentees in the science training program. Okay, so that is the participant. Then what will be expected or possible results? So there will be a common themes in the students' experiences. So this is the output of your research. Okay, that is for step 1. Okay, remember that steps. Then step 2, use your answers to list keywords. So these are the keywords. So life experiences of students undergoing mentorship and being mentees. Then qualitative pedagogical study. Then junior high school students assigned as mentors and mentees. Science training program. So common themes. Then step 3. Okay, we will now create a sentence that includes the keywords you listed. So example. So this research will be a qualitative pedagogical study about the life experiences of junior high school students assigned as mentors and mentees under the science training program. It aims to generate common themes. Okay, step 4. This is our combined words earlier. Okay, then step 4, delete all unnecessary repetitive words and link the remaining. Okay, let's delete. This research will be related, so delete. So what will remain is pedagogical study, the life experiences of university students assigned as mentors and mentees under science program. This is now the revise. Okay, this is 19 words. Okay, this is still over the standard length of writing a research title. Okay. And step 5, delete non-essential information and reword the title. Okay, so we'll remove the pedagogical study. So then the junior high school students and the assign as. Okay, so this is now our title, life experiences of students undergoing mentorship and being mentees under science training program. Okay, length is 14 words, so it's already fit to our standard title of the length, so it must have only 14 words. Okay, that is the steps in writing a research title. So I hope you get all the steps. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so read the given research titles and identify the characteristics they have. For example, we have here the women representation in politics, local government of Davao City in context. Then ardent spirits, qualitative investigation of alcohol drinking among middle adolescents. Okay. So here, what do you think is their characteristics? Okay, so here in the characteristics of this research is more of the pedagogical approach. Okay, it's more of social issues. Okay, they write they're going to investigate here about the presentation of women in politics. Then another is the title number 2. It's more of the experiences of the adolescents, okay, on their drinking habits. Okay, let's have this part 2. Follow the steps and write a research title based on the given data. The first step is done for you. Okay, ask yourself these questions and take note of the answers. Okay, so answer this activity on your own. Title. So this is our final title. Perceive barriers in getting cyst surgery of marginalized patients. A multiple case study. Okay, so as you can see, we have able to achieve the length, which is 14 words. So it's not 13, so it's already a good title. Okay, so I hope you get the process and making a research title in your study, so in your group. So again, so make sure you have a wide reading about your topic so that you will not be hard time in doing this activity. So good luck to your activity. Okay, so let's answer now this activity. Okay, ask yourself about these questions. So what is your paper about? So our research aims to determine the reasons that hinder cyst removal. And what techniques or design will we use? It will use a qualitative multiple case study approach. Then who and what's going to be studied? To study the marginalized patients, so those who are powerless or important position in society, and why they did not get surgery. And what will be the expected possible result? It aims to identify or hear the voices of the patients and their problems of non-compliance to medications. Step 2, so reasons that hinder cyst removal. So here are the keywords. Then qualitative multiple case study approach. Then marginalized patients who did not get surgery. Then voices of patients and their problems. Step 3, create a sentence that includes the keywords you listed. So this research will use qualitative multiple case study approach to determine the reasons that hinder cyst removal of marginalized patients who did not undergo surgery. We will listen to the voices of the patients and their problems. Step 4, delete all the unnecessary repetitive words and link the remaining. Okay, so we'll delete this some words here. So this is the edited version of this title. Qualitative multiple case study approach about the reasons that hinder cyst removal or of marginalized patients. So it is 16 words, so we need to revise it further. So step 5, delete the non-essential information and reword the title. Okay, so this is our final title. Perceived barriers in getting cyst surgery of marginalized patients, a multiple case study. Okay, let's remember this. So in writing a good research title, it must predict the content of the research paper, should be interesting to the reader, reflect the tone of the writing, and contain important keywords that will make it easier to search. And number 2, you need to ask yourself about some information about the research and take note of the answers and use these words to answer list. Use these answers to list keywords. Create a sentence using the keywords listed. Delete the unnecessary repetitive words and link the remaining. And lastly, delete the non-essential information and reword the title. Okay, so make sure only contains maximum of 14 words. Okay, then let's test ourselves. So for your assignment, so in your research project, so I know you have already in mind your research title or your proposed topic. So you just follow the same steps we have discussed earlier. Okay, so follow step 1 to step 5. Okay, so that you can frame your title for your research. Okay, so good luck to your activity.